Everything starts with a vision. If you don't have a vision, there's nothing for the pillars to protect.
If you don't have the vision. When we talk about abundance, right, in that vision, it comes with some alignment. And so how do we begin to get aligned so that that spark can be ignited inside of us, for us to be able to say, let me start to put some pillars in my life, put some pillars in place? What can we do?
So we ask ourselves, again, better questions, right? So it can start with, if you're even thinking about the fifth pillar. So once you have that vision locked in, you can ask yourself, is this the mental and physical well-being of a person who lives like that?
Patrice, I literally always ask people that same question in a very different way. You have a very great spin on that question. But like, really, I be cussing at people when I ask them certain stuff. But
Yeah.
but is it? Do they look like that?
Is this the mental and physical well-being of a person who you see there? I'll give you an example. So back in the day, and it's a space pillar example, but back in the day, I lived in Mableton, Georgia. We had this extra room. And at the time, I was like, I want to become an author. And in that room is where everything went to die, right? Amazon packages, laundry that didn't get folded, my daughter's extra toys, all the stuff was in there. But that was the room I was supposed to be writing in. And so I would go in the room to write, and I would instantly get distracted because I'm like, well, let me fold the clothes. Okay, well, let me put this up. Well, what did we order? I don't remember ordering anything. Let me see what this is. Now I got to take it up 2 flights of stairs. And it was this thing. And I remember sitting there one day and my spirit said, is this the office of a national best-selling author? Do you think that this is what your favorite author would be sitting in right now? You have no respect for what you said you think God told you to do.
Ooh.
Your space does not reflect what you were saying you believe God told you to do. And instantly, I had my ex-husband redo the room, and it became my office. And I got that book done, and 4 books after it.
4 books later. Listen, I think if people began to ask themselves that question frequently, lives would change.
I think the thing that makes people afraid of asking these questions, though, is, again, then they're going to have to get the guts to do something. Most of us don't want to ask ourselves the question because we want to pretend that we don't know what to do. It's easier to pretend you don't know what to do because then you don't have to take responsibility for anything.
Yeah.
Because if you start to do the things and it doesn't go the way that you plan, who do you blame?
Yeah.
Most people don't actually want to get up and go do the thing. They want to keep talking as if they desire the thing. And what I tell people all the time is, if you're just interested, just say that. If you're only interested in it, just say that. There's a difference between being interested and being committed. Committed people will get up and do the thing. Interested people will look for 33 tutorials on YouTube, read 60 books on the subject matter, Google everything they can, and then still not want to take responsibility for the action steps that lead them to the vision. Why? Because if it doesn't turn out the way that they thought or the way that they said, they don't want to have to take responsibility for it. Yeah. So it's easier to go in circles, to ask very low vibrational questions, such as, well, why can't I get somebody to just help me? Where is the people who come along and just write the book for you? They ask every question except for, well, what could I do next? What's my next best step? And does this really reflect, again, the space of someone who calls themselves a wannabe national best-selling author? They'll do everything but ask high vibrational questions that lead them to better answers, because it's actually easier to pretend that you don't know.
Yeah.
Because then you don't have to take responsibility.
Yeah. I mean, I when I wrote my book, I really... Of course, I had been talking about it. You knew. I had been talking about it since before. I think you was probably on your 3rd book by the time. At this point. I think you was on your 3rd book.
Yeah.
I think you had done 3. And I remember when Patrice and I both sat at an IHOP and wrote down our goals and said what we want to do. We wanted to, I'm going to author a book. You said, I'm going to author a book. Baby, Patrice said, let's see. Let's see who do. Patrice took off. And I remember when I sat down to write Breakthrough Soul Separately, at that point it was like, it's either put up or shut up, because you've been talking about it for 5 years. So at what point are you going to actually put rubber to the road? And I think that most people don't want to do that.
But I think that also speaks to, you did it in the divine right time.
Yeah.
And I think that sometimes we just have to accept, I want to do this thing and it is a good thing, but it is not the thing for me right now. And it's okay that I'm interested in doing it, so I'm going to put it on the list. But tell the truth if you're not committed yet. So there are things that I want to do, and I've talked about, and people, when you going to do that? I'm very clear, not right now.
Not right now.
Because there's other things that have my commitment.
Yeah.
There are other things that I desire. And because I live from the 6 pillars of wealth, all of my focus is not just the work and money pillar. I want to have a vibrant and full life. So I make sure that there's time for all the other pillars and all the things that I want to do, which means I can't do it all right now. And that is okay. But probably in a year or two, I'll be committed to writing my 6th book. Right now, I'm not. And I'm okay with that. Right now, I want to spend as much time with my daughter, who's a senior in high school, as I can because she's going off to college. That is my priority. I want to enjoy being in love again. That is my priority. I want to enjoy building my business in a new way, in a fresh way. I want to enjoy building my community. That's the priority. Everything cannot be the priority. Some people don't get things done because you got 15 priorities. If you have 15 things, nothing is actually a priority.
Yeah. Talk about doing business in a new way and having this freedom and autonomy and dreaming new dreams, right? You decided a year or two ago to cut a 7-figure stream of income in your business. Now, I know most people out here are listening like, wait a minute. She telling me she cut a stream of revenue that was producing 7 figures.
I did.
Because you wanted some more freedom.
I did. And I also genuinely felt like I was led to do that. It was the end of 2022. My divorce was final in August of 2022. I graduated with my MBA in May of 2022. And there were just all of the things. And so even though I was serving hundreds of clients and I was speaking everywhere, Opportunity Knocks, the show on PBS, had just aired. And so I was doing a lot of media and press for that. There was just so much going on. And I just hit this place where I felt like my spirit was like, it's time to do a new thing. And I was like, well, God, what does that look like? And I really didn't know what that meant. I just knew that I couldn't keep holding on, right? I had to be willing to lose that stream of income to be everything I felt like God was calling me to be. And it's so interesting. So when I say willing to lose, I want to say this too. Being willing to lose doesn't mean that you will lose. Being willing to lose doesn't mean that you want to lose. Nobody wants to lose a 7-figure line of business. But being willing to lose allows you to be radically honest with yourself first and then with others that I am not attached to anything. I am committed to the vision of what I believe God is calling me to, but I'm not attached to how I get there. Lisa Nichols taught me that. And so going into 2023, I was like, told my team, I don't feel led to do Purpose to Platform. And I'm not feeling led to do Command the Stage. I teach speakers, right? I'm like, I don't feel led to do that, and I'm not sure why. And I did not have a plan. I was thinking maybe it would be like, oh, I'll take a quarter off of launching anything. I did not think that it was going to be the whole year. But in doing so, so many things became so clear to me because I wasn't busy in the normal process of launching and then delivering those courses. And so I actually launched Pillar Mastery. And it was about teaching people how to set up that ignited aligned vision and use the pillars to support them. Had I kept going with Purpose to Platform and the other courses I was teaching, Pillar Mastery would have never had the space to be born.
Yeah.
And since leading Pillar Mastery in 2023, we've had about 400 or 500 people go through it at this point. And Brandi, when I talk about marriages have been restored, contrary to what people believe, I'm not here to break up everybody's marriage. I love marriage. I love love, right? When it's with someone who is aligned and also willing to do the work with you, right? But marriages have been restored. I've had a number of clients who have lost 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 pounds. We have people who have gone back to therapy and actually tell their therapist the truth, not just go through it to act like they, to check it off the list.
Yeah.
We've had people move across country. We've had people move to other countries because that's what they genuinely wanted to do. I've seen people get raises and promotions. We've seen people buy homes. So much came out of Pillar Mastery that I believe has literally saved people's lives. And what a blessing to be able to hold space for those people from all over the world to do this type of work. And it would not have happened if I was still moving, in the way that I was before. And so I have those programs, but I put them to bed for like a year and a half or two, and to see what God has done, with the other work. And I want to just say that as a note too. A lot of times we're not willing to lose because we're not clear on what it will be replaced with. But I couldn't have even prayed for how I get to show up in Pillar Mastery now. I wasn't even aware that I had the capacity to truly hold space for people in that way, because I was known as a money coach, a title that I had to release. I was known just as a business coach. I was America's money maven. And in releasing all of that, God showed me that I was so much more than just that.
Yeah.
And it's informed everything that we do. And so we've still had a successful business, but it just wasn't in the same way. And I'm really excited about where it's going. I just created an assessment for the pillars so people know their scores. I have the Redefining Wealth app now. I have this vibrant community. I go live in there every day and talk crazy.
You go live every day?
I go live every single day. I'm in the middle of a 365-day consistency challenge. At the time of this recording, I'm on day 45. And with the consistency challenge, this is what I felt. It is a way to serve my community, to continue to build my voice, to build like what I truly want my message to be, and to serve people. And I feel that it's not just about these 365 days. I feel that by me showing up in this way, the next decade is going to change for me. Wow. It's not about the linear result. It is about the residual result of when you truly show up for what you say you're committed to. And I'm committed to the pillars. I believe in the pillars. The pillars got me through some of the hardest times of my life because I live my life by them. And I am sold out. I'm not doubling down. I'm tripling down on teaching people how to use this framework so that they can better their lives.
Hey, Vault family, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this clip, make sure to check out our full interview on our channel at Vault Empowers Talks. We don't just scratch the surface. We dive deep into the lives of some of the world's most influential leaders and change makers. Don't forget to like, to comment, and be sure to subscribe for more inspiring conversations. See you next time.